The IFL's championship game to date. A lot of upset wins. Two teams playing their best football. The best teams standing are here today.
Game winning drive. When I score, I go for two. I don't believe in overtime. Put your hands up in the sky like boys get the pop and you gon' feel every collision. Vision, mission, execute with precision. When I let my game do the talking, they gon' listen. Fans scream my name cause I earned the recognition. Blood, sweat, and tears staring at the definition. IFL and denim, baby, this is a new tradition with it.
Coming inside, towards the goal line.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Glendale, Arizona, Desert Diamond Arena, the site of tonight's contest, a Western Conference battle between your Northern Arizona Wranglers and the Arizona Rattlers. James Poovey coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Ed, this should be a fun one here tonight, my friend. I'm excited for it. And as we both know, as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here, the Northern Arizona Wranglers looking to get their first win of the 2025 season.
And it's going to be a difficult one, folks. You're going up against the national champion Arizona Rattlers in their building. This is a very difficult place to win in. Desert Diamond Arena, they're 3-0, coming off a big win over San Antonio 2 weeks ago. They've coming off their bye week, so they had a chance to heal up and get prepared for Northern Arizona. But this is going to be a stern test for Northern Arizona to come in here, knock off the national champions, and get their first victory. They're going to have to play about as flawless a game of football as you're going to get from a football team. If you're going to knock off the champions, if you're going to be Kevin Guy and the Rattlers, you're going to have to play at your apex. It's going to be an A++ performance to get a victory tonight here in Glendale.
You're exactly right, Ed. It reminds you of the days back in high school or in middle school when you could get that 103 on the test because you put in some extra credit or maybe you answered that bonus question.
Right.
That's what the Wranglers are going to need to do here tonight. As you mentioned, almost play a flawless game. They're going to have to be staunch on defense, get stops when the opportunity presents itself, and then when they have the football, they're going to have to take it down and score.
When you're talking about defense, you might as well go ahead and pop up that QB comparison because we're going to talk about Dalton Snead and C.J. Fowler. Dalton Snead having a great season, starting off almost 600 yards passing. We're going to see that graphic pop up, and there it is. 526 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. The young man's got almost 200 yards rushing, about 6 touchdowns rushing to go along with his touchdowns through the air. And you go ahead and talk about CJ.
Well, CJ comes in tonight with 38 completions, only 316 yards of passing offense, but he has a nice rushing total as well this 2025 season, throwing for 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and checks into tonight's contest with a 100.5 QBR, does C.J. Fowler. So we're looking for big things for him here tonight, and as we mentioned, it's going to take big things here inside Desert Diamond Arena this evening to get over on these Arizona Rattlers. But listen, every team has chinks in the armor, as we say, and things that you can exploit, and that's what the Wranglers have been doing all week long, looking at the film, dissecting things, and really seeing what they can pick apart and see how they can maybe get over on this Rattlers team here tonight inside their own building.
Yeah, and as you said, it's all about getting pressure on Dalton Snead. That defensive front, they're going to have to get after him, but it's difficult because he can run. Just like CJ can run, Dalton Snead can run. He's got 6 rushing touchdowns on the season, about 130 yards rushing, if I do recall from the stats that I got. But this young man can beat you with his arm as well as his legs. So it's going to be the onus is on the defense to get after him because he's got weapons he can throw the football to and hand the football off to. Ron Brown Jr. having a great season already as well for the Rattlers, but it's the defense is going to have to play strong. CJ is going to have to be about as perfect as you can get. Those 5 interceptions, he cannot turn the ball over like he has in the first 3 games. Otherwise, they're not going to win this football game because you're going to turn the football over to the Rattlers, and they're going to get more chances. Dalton Snead is going to get more chances to get involved, get his guys involved, and get into the end zone. This is the #1 scoring offense and the #1 total offense and defense in the Indoor Football League. So, again, Northern Arizona is going to be tested severely tonight.
And a big test is going to happen in the trenches tonight as well, Ed. The offensive line is going to have to play really well, keep C.J. Fowler upright, protected, able to throw the football down the field, and then open up the holes for the running backs. But the defensive line is going to have to come up huge tonight and get pressure on Dalton Snead.
Yeah, back to C.J. The great thing about him is when plays break down, which they do on occasion during the course of a football game, his legs, he's really good with his legs. He's able to get out there, bust out there, and get 10, 15, 20 yards off the pop, off the rip, if things do go south. So just don't force the issue. If you're C.J. Fowler, if the pass is not there, if the completion is not there, then don't force it. Live to see another down, run, and just get out of bounds. Don't turn the football over because, again, if you turn the football over, you are susceptible to losing in the Indoor Football League.
One of the bright spots this season for the Northern Arizona Wranglers has been defensive back number 6, Kieran Page, and you had the pleasure of catching up with him a little bit earlier this week. So let's check on that interview right now, and we will welcome you back here inside Desert Diamond Arena for more of the pregame show right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel in just a bit. Make sure and stay with us. We'll join you here in just a bit and enjoy this time with defensive back Kieran Page.
Rattlers down in Glendale, the Desert Diamond Arena. The Wranglers trying to get their first victory of the season, and they're going to try to knock off the defending national champions, the Arizona Rattlers. It's going to be a tough one in Glendale as they're 3-0, bucking to go 4-0. We are so honored to be joined by defensive back Northern Arizona Wranglers, Kieran Page, my devil dog.
Hoorah.
KP, I appreciate your time, man. Just as we get ready to walk the viewers up to Wranglers and Rattlers, this will be your first time going up against the Rattlers. When you look at them on film, when you've watched film breaking them down, and you're watching a high-powered offense in the Arizona Rattlers, they just retool. They don't reload. They just retool, and they're just ready to go. What do you see from them as you're preparing for them tonight? It's going to be a tough test there in Glendale.
Tonight, main focus is, making the quarterback throw the ball. Because as you all know, the no-fly zone is real. So the more we force them to put the ball in the air, the more chances for turnovers or takeovers and stuff like that. Make them really have to think and play into our hands. Because they have a few good players over there. They got some big guys. I'm excited about it because then they go test the waters with me because they feel that's an even matchup. It's not. So we're going to shut them down tonight and just contain them from running the ball and make it in the air where we love it.
KP, I've always noticed in the first 3 games, bruh, it's just crazy that you seem to be on every single play. You're not afraid of contact. You're not afraid, obviously, to go over into the board. We saw in the Tucson game. We'll run some highlights from that, but just talk about the physical nature and just the way you attack this game of football. I know it's different for you having everything compressed into a 50-yard field as opposed to a 100-yard field. So you've got to kind of change your mentality and the way you attack the game of football, but still attack the game nonetheless.
Yes, sir. So when it comes down to physicality, I look at it like this. I played offense growing up, things like that. Best thing about it, having that offensive mindset and then going to defense is knowing that they don't want to get touched. you bring it to them, they don't want to keep getting hit over and over. It takes the wind out of people. And like Coach Hendrick, man, once you hit them, leave them down, make them pick themselves up. You doing that long enough, people going to start messing up route time, all star type of stuff, playing into our hands and not being physical as we are as a full defense. And I think that's the great thing about this group is because, like, none of our DBs, usually you'll see DBs shy away from contact. Our DBs bring it in. We're the most physical team in the league right now, I believe. And, you know, having those guys alongside of me while I'm able to go full on out and not have to be, like, conservative, not knowing who will be where, knowing that everybody's flying to the ball and I fly to the ball the same way for them.
KP, I was just about to ask you about that defensive secondary with Kalen Hicks and Hitstick and Eddie McClellan and others. What's it been like so far? I know it's been quick because we started back in early March and now in mid-April. So it's been about a month and a half for you to get adjusted to them and them get adjusted to you and you get adjusted to everything in the indoor football. But talk about your brethren back there in that defensive secondary. What it mean to you and what they bring for you and what you bring to them?
Best thing about the secondary, like what they all bring a sense of, you know, it's on us. We like to say everything starts with defense, and especially our DBs, because we're watching our O linemen, our D linemen get down in the gut with us every day. You know, they're going all out. So
folks, we welcome you back inside Desert Diamond Arena. Apologies for our technical difficulties as we had some audio and video sync issues, Ed, but great stuff there with Kieran Page, and man, has this young man played really well the past couple of weeks for the Northern Arizona Wranglers and made some big plays at some very, very opportune times.
Well, if we can translate this interview, I will translate and say this. Kieran is a great young man. He comes, he's from, is it Waxahachie, Texas?
Waxahachie,
Texas. Waxahachie, Texas, for all our
home
folks
of the Indians.
Yes. So I know you really wanted to do that interview with him, but he was so excited. But, yeah, Kieran is a great young man, number 6, a rookie in this league, 22 years old, living out his dream of playing professional football. This young man is excited to play the Rattlers tonight. He told me that he's gonna make Dalton Sneed feel it. He's gonna do what he can to get against up with the wide receivers and just do what he needs to do. Get back there and affect change.
Yes.
When it comes to the defense, back in that defensive secondary.
That's what it's all about, is affecting change, getting pressure on the quarterback, and really you want to make him uncomfortable, get him out of his game, get the Rattlers out of their game plan completely and make them adjust to things on the fly, and mainly you want them to adjust to that pressure.
Right, and here's the thing. If you can lock down his wide receivers, which he's got some great ones. He's got Isaiah Houston and others. Dalton Sneed has a lot of guys to throw to, but if you can lock those wide receivers down and then let that defensive front get pressure on Sneed, get him out, force the issue on him, force him out of the pocket, and sack him, bring him down, force turnovers, force fumbles, then the game changes for you because your defenses did the part. Now C.J. Fowler and the offense for Northern Arizona, they have to come out and do their part.
And then when you talk about the Wranglers offense and C.J. Fowler, he's got to do almost the exact opposite. He's got to avoid the pressure. We know the Rattlers have a really good defense. They got a great defensive front. They're going to be coming at Fowler and the offense all night long. But what are they going to do when they respond? How do they respond to that pressure that's going to be applied tonight by the Rattlers? As you mentioned earlier, don't force things. Don't throw the interception if you can at all avoid it. If you have to eat it and play another down, so be it. But that will be a telltale sign tonight is how the Wranglers are able to avoid or deal with that pressure that comes from the Rattlers.
And here it is, James and folks. Both of these teams run the ball really well. For Northern Arizona, you've got Marvin Kinsey Jr. You can hand the ball up to 28. We know that guy is a battering ram.
Yes.
We've seen it over the first 3 weeks. This guy affects chains offensively. And also Ron Brown Jr. and, of course, Dalton Sneed on the side for Arizona. These two teams can run the football really well. So let's see if they do a balanced offensive attack, because we've seen it for NAZ. They'll run the ball as well as they throw the football. And I think Arizona does it as well. Coach Guy gets his guys ready. You know those guys are amped up because these Arizona rivalries. We talked to Coach Guy for a quick second last week up in Prescott Valley. He's ready to go.
We did. We saw him on the field just before last week's game, and Coach Guy, you know, we're always kidding around with him. We said, hey, we're going to see you down at your place next week, and he gives us a snide little look and says, oh, we'll be ready. Don't you worry. We'll be ready. Rattlers fans checking in here with us as well on the pregame show. And I tell you, Ed, it's always a great time, not only because it's close to the house for us, but this natural Arizona rivalry has really become a great game over the past couple seasons.
Oh, yeah. Over the past 5 seasons, we've had a lot of great matchups with the Arizona Rattlers, especially in the playoffs, just knocking them off in their building.
Right here in this building.
Actually down to the Footprint Center.
Oh, that's right. That was the Footprint Center twice.
There's so many crazy things. And we can go back and look at the Tucson game last week. The games we have with Tucson, those games are always crazy, whether it's up in Prescott Valley or down in Tucson. There's something about these 3 Arizona teams. When they all get together and fight each other, there's something more special. There's something more on the line because bragging rights are on the line when it comes to these Arizona squads.
It's kind of like the SEC, right, Ed?
Yeah.
It just means more.
It does.
We're going to step aside here and take a brief commercial timeout and return for more of the pregame show. Stay with us here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. We'll be back after a very brief timeout. We welcome you back inside Desert Diamond Arena. We are about 16 minutes and some change from kickoff here between your Northern Arizona Wranglers and the Arizona Rattlers, 7-time champion Arizona Rattlers, Ed. And I tell you what, it's always an interesting matchup anytime these two teams get together as we welcome folks back inside the broadcast booth here. Let's talk about that previous game for the Wranglers against the Tucson Sugar Skulls. It was a tough one up there against those Skulls inside the Findlay Toyota Center.
Yeah, again, another aforementioned Arizona rivalry. Those guys are squaring up down up there in Prescott Valley. We see Devontae Sapp Lynch. Wow, he just trucked. That guy is so strong. He is so built for inside that red zone, inside the red zone, green zone, whatever you want to call it. That's what he does.
Yeah, Sapp Lynch has got so much lower body strength. It is insane.
Deshaun Stoudemire.
And then we see Stoudemire getting across the goal line there, getting the crowd hyped up a little bit there inside the FTC. We love to see it. And C.J. Fowler going to work right there. There it is, Stoudemire. Once he got loose, Ed, it was nothing but afterburners all the way to the end zone there for Deshaun Stoudemire.
Just his speed. We're going to need to see his speed again tonight against this Rattlers defense, I should say. Great
close there by Umanakwe. He's going to have to come up big here tonight against this Rattlers offense.
You better believe it. Him, Umanakwe, Farrell, Kalen Hicks, everybody on that defensive side is going to have to come after Dalton Sneed.
And there you see.
This is the C.J. Fowler we're talking about.
That's
when
C.J.
When plays break down,
tonight, right
he's got
to
do that.
Absolutely right.
I mean, he's going so fast, the video's freezing up because it's trying to catch up to C.J.
Oh, that's that. I thought you were going to tell him that was that added freeze frame we threw in there for him tonight.
Yeah.
Because for some reason our video is glitching there. But I tell you what, it freezes it up a couple times there during the highlights. Not too shabby.
Yeah, it's technology, folks,
You know, the Wranglers they got to come out here and play good here tonight. Against these Rattlers,
see Jamal
unlike
Couch
they did against the Sugar Skulls.
Jamal Couch skying up for that touchdown.
That was a fantastic
He's got to
grab.
make plays like that again tonight, JP.
Yes, he is indeed.
Talk about defense. Forced turnovers.
Man.
That's going to be huge. Win the turnover battle tonight against Dalton Sneed in that Rattlers offense.
Huge stop there for the Rattlers. And there's another young man who needs to have himself a big night, number 25, David Elder.
Yes, sir. On special teams as well as that, using his speed on offense.
Yes.
25 is going to be a major factor tonight. He's going to have to come up and show out for NAZ tonight.
Another thing that's going to be big tonight for the Wranglers is going to be the special teams unit, Ed, not only from a field position perspective to get the Wranglers offense in good field position, but they got to score some points as well on special teams tonight.
Yeah, Brandon Fisher, when his time is up, when his number is called, when number 25, when Brandon Fisher's number 26 is called, he's got to make kicks. He's got to get really good kicks on kickoffs. You know, when the team does score, get kickoffs, and the special teams, that special teams unit has got to cover well because we know Arizona's got a great special teams unit too.
Yes, they do indeed. So we're looking forward to a fantastic game here tonight inside the Desert Diamond Arena. And it is about 13 minutes until kickoff here. Ed, any final thoughts before we encourage folks to head on over to the IFL Network and the call of tonight's football game by Mr. Floyd Simmons and Dale Hellestray?
I think it's what we said all along, folks, from 5:30 on. It's all about getting pressure on Dalton Sneed. It's tough because, again, he can get out there and he can abuse you with his legs.
Yes.
His arm is great. He's got 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. The young man's got 6 rushing touchdowns. So no matter how you shake it out, Dalton Sneed is an excellent quarterback. So C.J. Fowler is going to have to match, if not exceed, what Dalton Sneed is going to do tonight. On defense, they've got to bring pressure as far as pressure against him. On offense, they've got to score points. This is the #1 scoring offense in the indoor football league that you're going up against. You've got to score points. If you can get out to an early lead, then let your defense do what they need to do. Getting out to an early lead, JP, I think that's critical for the Northern Arizona Wranglers.
That would be just what the doctor ordered right there
what's
for
your
Coach
keys?
Ron James.
What's your
keys
keys
for the Wranglers tonight is to get off to a quick start and then take advantage of mistakes by the Rattlers. Every team makes mistakes in every single game. No one plays a perfect football game, and so the object is to take advantage of those opportunities, especially defensively when the opportunity presents itself.
And here it is. This place is going to be loud.
Yes,
so
it
it's
is.
all about being poised. Because not, as JP mentioned, not everything's going to go right for you tonight. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to go sideways for you.
Yes.
But there's going to be a lot of things that are going to go right for you. So the things that go sideways, you got to push that to the back of your mind. You got to forget about that. You got to line back up and go play after play after play and see and let the chips fall where they may. But you got to have amnesia in this game of football.
Yes, indeed. The Wranglers are going to hope to have amnesia from that game last week against Tucson Sugar Skulls, come in here tonight and play some really solid football.
Mm-hmm.
So, folks, make sure you come back here and join us at the halftime. We'll be live once again on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel, and then we'll also have a post-game show for you as well, live from inside Desert Diamond Arena here in Glendale. Ed, great stuff, and I'm looking forward to a great game as we see the Wranglers right behind us here coming out onto the field inside Desert Diamond Arena. We're going to step aside here and let you get a good look.
Right on time.
As the Wranglers come out onto the field. They're wearing their icy white look tonight. I like it, Ed. The gray pants with the white jerseys, blue numbers trimmed in red, and then the white hats as well tonight. And Coach Sia Burley makes his return to the home of the Rattlers, former Arizona Rattlers coach and player as well was Sia Burley. So
yes,
good
so
stuff. And got to be a special night for Coach Burley.
Yeah, so many great years for Coach Burley, but now he's with Northern Arizona. I know he's got to shake off the I guess the feeling he's got right, the emotions right now, and just know that he's with Northern Arizona and he's got business to take care of, him and his football team.
So we're going to keep giving you a look here inside the arena and see if we can get these lights turned off here for a moment and give you the full spectrum of the pregame experience here inside Desert Diamond Arena, folks. And they're going to start lighting this candle here very shortly, Ed.
This is a really special place. They did a lot of renovations, put some big-time money into Desert Diamond Arena.
Yes.
They really spruced this place up. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's really nice in here. And very unfortunate as we're walking in, I see the little things around the trees with the coyote placards and everything. Ed, kind of got a little nostalgic there for a second.
Yeah,
and,
me
but
too.
We'll hope that hockey returns here to the Valley of the Sun sometime in the very near future, whenever that is.
And I think a lot of the citizens of Arizona would love to have hockey back. It was successful. You know, we had a good run in the early time of the Arizona Coyotes. It would be great to have another team back here. But this is a really good home field advantage for the Arizona Rattlers. As you can see, folks, the fans have got their phones out. They got the phone lights out, and it's a special place right here.
Once again, whoa, there we go. The pyros are out. And once again, we remind you to make sure and come back here and join us at the halftime, as we'll have a halftime show for you live on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. I'm going to make my way down field level and try to catch up with hopefully a player or a coach, Ed, there at halftime. So we'll see how that technology experience treats us at half, but make sure and join us either way. And now we'll encourage you to head on over to the IFL Network for the call of tonight's ball game, courtesy of Mr. Floyd Simmons and Dale Hellestray. We'll check in with you folks once again at halftime. From our broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole, I'm James Poovey saying so long and enjoy the first half of Wranglers at Rattlers 2025 edition. Talk to you soon, folks.